Let's get to your top story, and this is in regard to India shredding Pakistan at the United Nations over the attack in Pahalgam that claimed 26 innocent lives. The India's side's deputy representative at the United Nations has gone on to say Pakistan is a rogue state, and the Pakistan minister's confession is not a surprise. We have my colleague Shiv Arul joining us on the phone line. A very good morning, Shiv. It's been a week since the attack. The manhunt continues, but take us through India really tearing down Pakistan, calling Pakistan a rogue state. First, Shiv, before we come to you, let's just listen in to what was said.
It is unfortunate that one particular delegation has chosen to misuse and undermine this forum to indulge in propaganda and make baseless allegations against India. The whole world has heard Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif admitting and confessing Pakistan's history of supporting, training and funding terrorist organizations in a recent television interview. This open confession surprises no one and exposes Pakistan as a rogue state fueling global terrorism and destabilizing the region. The world can no longer turn a blind eye.
Shiv with us, joining us from Srinagar. Shiv, of course, we just heard India's deputy representative at the United Nations calling Pakistan a rogue state, saying that, the confession is not a surprise. Take us through the confession that's been made by the Pakistan minister.
Well, Yojna Patel, who's India's number 2 diplomat at the United Nations, is basically referring to the interview that Khwaja Asif gave just recently, a television interview where he very strangely talked about Pakistan's history with the Mujahideen and with certain terror groups, and it was almost surreal manner in which he was speaking, and obviously that's gone viral for all the wrong reasons. He's come under fire within Pakistan politically as well, and it's obviously provided a great deal of fodder, Divya, to Pakistan's detractors. So I'm not surprised that Yojna Patel at the United Nations has taken this up. It's important to remember that the context of where she was saying this is also huge. This is the Victims of Terror Network program that was being launched at the United Nations, where a Pakistani delegation was talking about how Pakistan has been a victim of terror. Remember, this has been a running narrative that has been emanating from Pakistan for a very long time. Every time it is accused of being a global fountainhead of terror, mostly by India on global forums, Pakistan has always shot back and said that they are victims of terror. They've lost a huge number of security forces and civilians. This is, of course, ironic and ridiculous, considering that all of these terror groups are basically products of Pakistan. It's the entire snakes in your backyard theory. So Yojna Patel, the entire Indian team at the United Nations, when it comes to Pakistan, what you just saw in that small clip from the UN is pretty much standard fare in terms of what the rules of engagement for India are. In the backdrop of Pahalgam, and today we are 1 week from that massacre, India has always been armed with more than enough information, more than enough details. The Khwaja Asif interview is almost like a bit of an icing on a cake in terms of what India has on Pakistan to label it as a rogue state.
Right, of course, Shiv, Yojna Patel there saying that the world can no longer turn a blind eye at a time that, the world has been supporting and backing India in its fight against terrorism. Let's just also get you breaking news coming in at the moment. We're talking about ceasefire violation yet again by Pakistan side. Firing now has been reported at the Aknoor sector. This is the 5th night of ceasefire violation at the line of control. Shiv, back with us on the phone line. Shiv, of course, yesterday we were reporting about firing that has been reported for the first time when we're talking about the Poonch area, and now firing taking place at the Aknoor sector. This is the 5th consecutive night of violation of the ceasefire agreement.
Very clearly an escalation and an expansion in the intensity and the scope of these ceasefire violations by the Pakistan Army, Divya. And like we were saying yesterday, it's very clear that there's a sort of measured and calibrated escalation day on day by the Pakistan Army to continuously try and test the limits of the Indian Army, to try and trigger some kind of a response, to try and push the Indian military in some kind of a response that it may not be otherwise planning. The important part of last night's violations is that they are, apart from the northern areas, this basically was concentrated in Akhnur, which is the chicken's neck sector just north of Punjab, in fact, just north of the international border. So you've got a ceasefire violation not very far from the international border in the Akhnur sector and north in the Kupwara sector. So this is pretty much the entire, active line of control, as it were, where Pakistan continuously is violating the ceasefire. Baramulla sector also has been activated, according to what the army has released just now, which means that with each passing day, new posts are being added to this entire lineup of violations. The intensity of the fire has also increased, I understand, in at least 7 or 8 posts. So like I said, it is an escalation.
Right. Thank you so much, Shiv, for getting us those details. And as ceasefire violation continues, we're talking about 1 week into the attack. On Tuesday last week, 26 innocent people lost their lives in an attack that took place in Pahalgam. Now, the massive hunt that continues to nab the terrorists, Pakistan's imprint is clear as far as the attack is concerned. Many ceasefire violations, like we just spoke about, it's been the 5th consecutive night where firing has started. It has been provoked by the Pakistani side, and India has no option but to retaliate. Now, tensions that are escalating with, of course, the chief minister there saying that, everyone is united in this fight against terrorism, as is the opposition party, with the Congress really backing the centre for whatever move and whatever action that it deems fit.